This fight video is powered by Manscaped. And they just released their 4th generation performance package, the Lawnmower 4.0. You've heard of the 3.0, some of you might even got it. I'm afraid you're last generation now. This is the new shit right here. This is the one we all want. This 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. That's not all they've sent us, the boxer shorts, and of course, the anti-chafing ball deodorant. Lord knows some of you out there really need this because, damn, you stinky bastards. Feel great in your own skin and fuel your own expression of masculinity. Oh, that'll trigger some of you out there. Well, men need to feel good too sometimes, and that's what Manscaped is all about. Get 20% off when you go to manscaped.com/true. The link is in the description below. Welcome back to True Geordie Extra with a prediction for the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder trilogy fight. I really want Tyson Fury to win this. Just putting that out there. I mean, I'm a fan of Tyson Fury, but also Deontay Wilder. I respect him in the sense that he's won a world title and apparently, you know, he's a good family man, yada, yada, yada. But it's just being a dick, hasn't he? Like, you got smoked in the second fight, and rather than just accept it, you have to point the finger at Tyson Fury cheating, your coach is doing this, spike in the water, knuckle dusters under the glove, whatever. It's embarrassing. A grown man who can't just accept, you know what, you were the better man, shake hands, get on with it. Like, Tyson Fury got legitimately robbed in that first fight of a fucking decision win. And yet he took it like a man and just was like, yeah, well, what are you going to do, you know? I really hope there's some spite behind Tyson Fury's punches that night. Obviously, I'm not hoping anything bad happens, you know, but just a knockout. Do you know what I mean? Just a good old-fashioned knockout. So yeah, going back to the first fight, Tyson Fury came back from being obese. I think he was like 28 stone, lost 10 stone, fought a couple of bums, and then hopped into the ring with the champion of the world, and you know, a fight that many people did not want. And you know, obviously there was the rumors of AJ versus Wilder. Why didn't it happen? You know, and Fury looked like a bit of a hero for getting in there despite the situation he was in. And the reality is, if Deontay Wilder was going to beat Tyson Fury, that was the night. You know, he was coming off of a load of fights. Fury had just lost 10 stone. Like, we're talking about a guy who probably should have been on some weight loss advert at that point. He really probably shouldn't have been in a boxing ring. You know, what he achieved that night was amazing. To then go away and change his style, add some weight on, pack on some power, and take the fight to the most dangerous puncher in the heavyweight division, it was amazing. I mean, it was truly one of the best performances I've ever seen. And that was a better performance than Anthony Joshua has ever put together, in my opinion, in terms of against top-level, elite-level fighter. You know, bearing in mind, AJ, you know, he took his time with Dominic Breazeale, and you've got Deontay Wilder just smoking him with a missile and killing him on the spot. This is a very dangerous man. I'm not trying to do the whole AJ versus Wilder thing. I'm just saying, you know, I know a lot of people have sort of lost respect for Wilder, as have I, but you have to respect the power. And the fact is that power is so overpowered that despite his limited boxing skills, he has managed to become one of the most brutal knockout punchers of heavyweight history. He's dangerous. And even though I think Tyson Fury is better at everything aside from power, that one thing occasionally is like the ace card, and it just trumps everything, you know? So this is a dangerous fight, and it could be even more dangerous because Fury won the last one fairly comfortably. Like, where's his head at? We always ask these questions. He's never defended a title before because obviously he had that I've hit the top of the mountain, what do I do now moment against Klitschko. This is the first, but he does seem in a better place. He does seem like he's living and breathing the game again. And despite his, you know, his sad news that, you know, his child was ill, God bless. He seems to have come through that now. The child is obviously much better and he's training hard, but that couldn't have been easy at the start of camp, as well as having COVID. So there's just been a few speed bumps, and that's where people are getting a bit worried, because in the past there's been massive speed bumps with Fury on the rematch of Klitschko, for example. So there's rumors that he's going to come in really heavy. Now, that could be great. It could be a bit too much. Do you know what I mean? You have to find the balance. And last time Deontay Wilder didn't find the balance. And for all he blamed his fucking suit and all of that shit, the fact is his chicken legs could not carry what was, 230, 235. And it certainly couldn't carry 270 Tyson Fury leaning all over him. He is going to have to keep that distance as best he can here. He cannot let Fury do what he did. He's got to slow the fight down. He's got to make sure he controls the range, and he's got to keep it at his range where they're shooting missiles at each other. He can't allow himself to be big man. He can't allow himself to get roughed the fuck up like he did last time. The problem is Tyson Fury is just better at everything aside from power. Watching that Usyk AJ fight for me showed just how good Fury can be, because the level that Fury was on in that Wilder fight, he was massively strong, fit as you like, because he stays comfortable and relaxed in there. He's not tensing up and loading up, but he's still, now he's learned through the Krong style how to put his full weight through the punches, and then he leans on you afterwards and drains you. It was beautiful. It was proper old school, tricks of the trade, big man boxing. That's what you want. And the knuckle dust has helped. So, but yeah, he had his way with him. And it's hard to imagine how it could go any other way than another repeat. But the fact that Wilder now knows what's coming will help him. It's now not going to be a shock to the system when he's on the back foot and he's having to, fight defensively and someone's taking it to him and not fearing him. That is something he now can prepare for. So that gives him a slight edge that he didn't have last time. There's also the fact that when you're the champion, sometimes mentally, I think they come into a fight like AJ did, thinking, just keep the title. Don't lose the title. And they think the wrong way. They don't think like the belts are up for grabs. Whoever wins this fight takes the belts home. They think the belts are mine. They're my property. I've had that. Like, as long as I just don't lose. And because they're fighting a guy who's just going out for the kill, you can see the difference. You can see the way Tyson took the fight to him. You could see the way AJ was gun shy. Different fights, same point. So Deontay Wilder's knockout power, the lack of unpredictability as much for Tyson Fury, and the newfound desperation that Deontay Wilder will have in his head that tells him, this is it, last chance. If I don't fucking smoke this guy and get him knocked out cold, I ain't winning the decision because he'll outbox me, and I'm never going to fight him again, and I can kiss those fucking belts goodbye. That makes Deontay Wilder the most dangerous man in the heavyweight division, in terms of that one shot moment where he can just fucking put the lights out. Because before he swung for the fences, now it's like last chance, like kill or be killed. There's one major drawback why I just still don't think Deontay can do this, and that's generally in fighting, when someone loses and they don't seem to accept why they lost and they can't admit, the other guy was better, or, I just had an arse kicking, simple as, I'll come back stronger. When he's got to hide behind excuses and blaming and, oh, he cheated and it was my legs were tired from the suit, he had something in his glove, my water was spiked, the coach was on the tick, all of the insane conspiracies that Deontay Wilder came up with, they don't sound like a man who has acknowledged where he went wrong. Now, I'm sure he has a little bit, because even his ego has to recognize we need to do something different, but he hasn't fully embraced that failure and fully go and let it go through him and go, we need to change here. Accept it and change. And unless you truly accept it, you can never truly change. We've seen this with Conor McGregor. After that second Dustin fight, all the excuses, inactivity, yada, yada, yada. Third fight, he just got chinned because he really didn't fully acknowledge what had happened there, what had really gone on. And that is a real problem for Deontay Wilder. And I'm not saying any of that. So barring that one-shot kill, which we all know he's got, I think the most well-rounded heavyweight fighter is going to win, and that's who I always pick, as you know, and that's Tyson Fury, because he can kind of pick his poison here. Now Tyson's banged with Wilder and actually hurt him and put it on him and got his respect. He can take it that way, or he wants to box him and just jab him and move and switch it up between rounds. He could do anything he wants there, as long as he doesn't switch off. The minute his attention span goes down, you could get knocked out, and that's the key to winning this fight. That's all he has to do. It doesn't matter whether he goes forward or backwards. It really doesn't matter. He's winning, as long as he doesn't switch off. We're going to see if Deontay has learned the skills necessary to give him the best possible chance. In 2 years, he could have learned how to use his footwork better and how to punch on the back foot and how to control the pace a bit more. He could have done. But when someone comes out with things like, when someone challenges him about the Fury cheating, he's like, well, I've seen it. And people are like, well, there's no evidence of it. And he's like, what has been seen don't have to be explained. And you're like, Bro, you're talking shit. You're talking fucking bollocks. You sound like a clown. You're supposed to be the heavyweight champion of the world. You sound like a fucking moron. And that just does not fill me with any hope for him. All right, we've caveated enough. Here's basically what I think will happen. I think it may be a little cagey at the start. Wilder will try and be patient. He'll try and hold the distance a bit better to try and get those missiles going. But once it goes, I think it'll explode. I think Tyson will keep coming forward. The desperation of Wilder will mean he'll be thrown for the fences. And eventually, because of the desperation he'll now be feeling, he'll either go great for me, knock Tyson Fury out in one punch, or, which I think is more likely, Tyson Fury molds him and puts him away. No one throws the towel in, and he's knocked out cold. Tyson Fury, the champion. That's what I think is going to happen inside 5 rounds. Could be wrong, but I've been right a lot lately, so who knows? We'll see what happens. Hopefully you enjoy the fight. Let us know your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to stay subscribed to the True Geordie Extra channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.